Hi guys, those of you who are doing some writing and speaking, one of the problems we have is where, the vocabulary is quite simple. And what we want to do to really elevate our range of language to show the examiner that we know English, we want to use more collocations. We don't want to use sort of simple vocabulary like happy, good, bad, or just use them like the adverb very, very, very all the time. We want to show a nice range, and so to do that I'm going to do this video. And a lot of these kind of collocations I have taught recently in my classes, and when students wrote their essays using this, the English went from here to here. So I'm going to share this with you as well. We're going to go through each one and kind of explain what it means, and I'll give a sentence to show you context. So make sure at home you have pen and paper ready to record this, because again, transplant this into your writing or your speaking, you will sound absolutely awesome. Let's go to the first one. We know the word effect and consequence, or consequences, but I like this adjective here, far-reaching. So to have far-reaching to have like very big, very sort of long-lasting effects or consequences. So for example, smoking can have far-reaching effects on a person's health, which means it can really, really affect you. We have the next one. I love this word, detrimental. So we pronounce it detrimental. To have a detrimental effect on someone or something. For example, constant alcohol abuse can have a detrimental effect on a person's brain function. I know that personally. Seriously, I do. So again, to have a detrimental effect on a person's brain function, it basically means a very serious effect, a very serious problem. But if you were to say, oh, alcohol can have a very big problem on a person's brain, well, it's correct English, it's just a bit simple, isn't it? If you want to sound advanced, alcohol abuse or constant alcohol abuse can have a detrimental effect on a person's brain function. That is C1 and C2 English immediately. Let's go to the next one. A long-lasting effect on something, or the long-lasting effect of doing something. So again, it just means the effects last for a long time. So the long-lasting effects of a sedentary lifestyle can be lethargy and a weak immune system. So again, the long-lasting effects of a sedentary lifestyle can be lethargy and a weak immune system. Let's go to number 4. We have dire consequences. Now I like this word, dire. Now, you probably know the music band from Britain, Dire Straits. They're very popular. They had these songs like Money for Nothing and a few others I can't remember the name of. But actually, Dire Straits has a meaning. If you are in dire straits, it means you have a very serious problem. So if I say, my business is in dire straits at the moment, it basically means that I'm almost bankrupt. Things are so bad at the moment that it's not going to get better. So we can actually take this word dire and use it with other collocations. For example, dire consequences. So I could say, reducing investment into the health service may have dire consequences in the near future. Again, reducing investment into the health service may have dire consequences in the near future. That just sounds really good, rather than bad consequences or bad results. That's basic. This is advanced, C1, C2. Let's go to mind-numbingly dull. Now, you should probably use more in spoken English because it's quite colourful. Now, I like this because if you have a look here, you've got the word numb. So numb, like if your hand is really cold, you can't feel anything. Your hand is numb, or before they take your teeth out, they have to numb your mouth so you can't feel anything. So if you imagine that something numbs your mind, it means it's very boring. So you could say, I went to a lecture the other day and found it mind-numbingly dull. For me, I like art, but I'm not a fan of going to modern art galleries because I often find the exhibits just mind-numbingly dull. Again, if you use that in your speaking exam as an examiner, I would be seriously impressed. We have the next one. We know the word difficult. We have painstakingly difficult. It means very difficult, but this just sounds C1, C2. So I could say, finding a suitable girlfriend these days is proving to be painstakingly difficult. So again, trying to find a girlfriend these days is proving to be painstakingly difficult. Again, C1, C2. You can use this in other contexts as well. Learning grammar constantly is just painstakingly difficult. It's painstakingly hard to master the use of idioms effectively. It's like, wow. Again, it's just the English is simple, but the combination makes it really super advanced. I like this, one of my favourites. We know the word struggle, like when you struggle to do something, you have difficulties trying to achieve it, like fight. And here we have an uphill struggle, like a constant, always happening uphill struggle. So I could say, learning Russian for me has been a constant uphill struggle. It's never been easy, I've always found it difficult, and I don't think it's going to get any better. Or maybe the government trying to leave the European Union, which they're doing at the moment in my country, is proving to be a constant uphill struggle because no one agrees, we can't strike a deal, so it's proving to be a constant uphill struggle. We have the next one, serious repercussions. Repercussions is like a synonym of consequences. So, for example, if you were writing or speaking, instead of saying consequence or effect, you can say repercussions. They mean exactly the same. So I like this, just simple collocations, serious repercussions. I could say, electing a stupid prime minister may have serious repercussions for the country as a whole. So electing a, let's say incompetent leader, like we have in Britain, may have serious repercussions for the country as a whole, like very serious results, very serious consequences. We have an undesirable effect. Undesirable meaning an unwanted. So increasing taxes may have an undesirable effect on small businesses. So the government might think, okay, we want to increase taxes, it's a good idea, but actually it's undesirable because it might make small businesses suffer. So there will be an undesirable effect on small businesses. We have the last one, which I like. We know the word disaster, but I like this, unmitigated. It's a synonym of saying complete, total. Unmitigated disaster. We actually use this in everyday English. Like if you really want to stress, how was your day at work? Today was an unmitigated disaster. Everything just went wrong. I was punished by my boss, I made lots of mistakes, and I got fired. But I've got my sentence here, for example, today's meeting was an unmitigated disaster in that we lost clients, customers, and a lot of money. Over here, again, very, very simple. I like this, overly complicated. It's a nice adverb. Students never use this. They never, ever use this. We could say, it's too complicated. That's correct, but let's make it C1, C2. It's overly complicated. Why do you need to make things just so overly complicated in our relationship? I've got here, my example is the same. Keep it simple. Why make everything always so overly complicated? Again, you could use that in your speaking in an exam, it would sound awesome. And the last one, now we have this word ridiculous. Now we know the word ridiculous, it's like saying very stupid. But as an adverb, you can't make a mistake with this word. You can use it with everything. Ridiculously easy, meaning very easy. Ridiculously pointless, ridiculously funny, ridiculously stupid, ridiculously cold, ridiculously hot. You can use it with everything. So if you're doing your writing or your speaking, use this one. So I've got here, finding a girlfriend is ridiculously simple if you have money, a car, a job, and a house. That might sound a bit sexist, but who cares? We're practicing English here, so it doesn't matter. So guys, I hope that was simple, and I'd like you to use this in your writing or your spoken English, and I want you to sort of feel that difference. I want you to feel the difference between saying something simple and saying something quite advanced. But as you see, it's not difficult to do, and that's the beauty of it. That's why I do these videos, because as a native speaker and experienced teacher, I can tell you what we say and what's right. So guys, if that was useful, please like and please subscribe. Tell your cats and your dogs and all your friends around the world, and I'll do more videos. So have a good day.